Hello lovely subscribers and anyone who might be here because of something in the title of this video. I have got so much to talk about because I wore a lot this week, but also I went and sniffed quite a few things. So towards the end, I will tell you about the things that I went to sample this week. I went to Selfridges and had a good sniff of a lot of stuff that I had on my list that I just wanted to smell to compare to other things or just to see what it smelled like because I was interested. It's when you're watching this, it'll actually be my birthday. I'm 42 on Sunday. I'm recording this on Saturday though, the day before, but obviously, I mean, I'm turning this whole weekend into a birthday weekend. So, I will have, let's see, I've got a couple of new things here actually, and one of them was my birthday present to myself. I also have one that's from my mum that you'll see another time. And there's one that I just picked up, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep. And I think everything else you'll have already seen, but I'll get on with it. So the reason I wore fresh cream is because I took out a jumper that I'd obviously been just like wearing around the house. You know, just like a comfy sweater kind of thing. And I was sniffing it and I was like, this smells like white chocolate. Why does it smell like white chocolate? And then I sat and had a think and I was like, oh, I wore fresh cream. The last time I wore fresh cream, obviously I was like, because I wear it around the house just when I want to feel cozy. And I hadn't really thought about it before. But yeah, the very deep dry down, what stays on your clothes. And let me be clear, this is like at least a week since I last wore that jumper. It really, really smells a bit like white chocolate, which is delicious. But obviously, this is the one that I think is creamy, milky, quite vanillic, quite an unusual scent. Shout out to whoever asked me in my comments about if there's anything I've smelt that smells like it or has like a comparable note to the kind of cream in this. And I'm sorry to say, outside of the other fresh cream perfumes, I've never really smelled anything that smells like this. And sort of realising that it smells a bit like white chocolate is relatively helpful in that I can say, well, it has the sweet creaminess of a very dominant white chocolate note in a perfume. And it probably isn't far off the level of sweetness of that. And I think maybe, yes, there's just a slight saltiness in this, which is probably what I like about this, because sometimes it's the same like when I make a cake, right? If you make a chocolate cake or generally anything sweet and you forget to put just a pinch of salt in, it can be like sickly sweet and not in a good way. And then, of course, in the other direction, my feelings about salted caramel, that's gone too far, too much salt now. Bring it back. But give me that kind of butterscotch, you know, give me that golden syrup, incredibly sweet, but with a decent amount of salt. And actually, I'll talk about, because the thing I'm wearing today has a lot of honey in it, so I'll talk about that next week, because like honey is a really good example of something that doesn't have that balance of salt, and that's why it's, to me, so sweet, like sweeter than this, you know, honey. But anyway, oh my goodness, it's the first perfume. I've already digressed. So it's whipped cream, milk, powdery notes, sweet vanilla and floral notes in this apparently. I only get the milk, the whipped cream. I don't actually find this massively powdery, but I do find it quite vanilla-y. It's weird that it doesn't list vanilla because there's definitely vanilla in this. I mean, there's no way. I got this from Fragrance X. You can get that in the UK. It's £40 rather than, I think this 60ml is it 60ml? These are, I can't even read what it says on the bottom. 60ml. So the 60ml bottles I think are about $60 if you buy them directly from Philosophy, which you can't do in the UK. But yeah, this was £40 and I think you can still get them on Fragrance X. I really like it. Some people find it a bit sickly and a bit sour because it's so kind of realistic dairy. But if you don't have a problem with that kind of dairy, then I think you'll probably be fine. I'm going to just, yeah, there we go. Oh, I almost don't know where to go next. Oh, let's go. Let me just find the notes. Let's go for the one that I bought for myself as a little birthday present, because I went on to My Origins, I think it's called. Might be pronounced My Origins because it's a French site. And the thing with that site is that it doesn't work on my iPad. It doesn't work on Safari for some reason. And I used to have a problem with it on my mobile phone. So I could only ever order from them when I was on my PC. But I managed to use my mobile phone and the site actually worked. But anyway, so if you're in Europe, probably you can buy from them, and you can if you're in the UK. They're pretty good for delivery. So I got, this is Mon Guerlain. I always want to rhyme it. Mon Guerlain. I never get it right. And I never remember, and I always start off in this exactly the same way. I apologise to French speakers who are very annoyed with me, I imagine, keep making the same mistake. Mon Guerlain, Intense. So Eau de Parfum Intense. The reason I got this one is because my husband bought me the original. I absolutely love the parfum, the normal one. It's not very strong in this cold weather, and I'm really, really wanting... I really want to wear it now it's really cold. And in the UK, it's been like between like -4 and 4 and like 4 degrees. You know, it's been all over the place. It's been very, very chilly. And I just really wanted to, I just thought I'm just going to get the Intense one. While I wait for the other one to macerate a bit, I've noticed that other people who talk about Mon Guerlain, it seems to be darker in their bottles than in mine, and I think that's because mine's brand new. So I'm hoping all the vanilla and tonka in there is going to kind of make it a bit darker, make it feel a bit thicker, a bit denser. And also I'm just going to wear that one around the house when it's cold, and then when it's a bit warmer I'll start wearing it out to work and stuff. But I wanted to wear it to work. So I got this one, and this is perfect because it is an intense version of the OG. Like really, really delicious. Easy and beautiful to wear if you like lavender, if you like vanilla, if you like licorice. Because I feel like this is definitely much more vanillic than the original, noticeably so. I think that's the biggest difference here. It's stronger, it lasts longer. You don't have to spray as much, you don't have to spray as regularly, you don't have to keep topping it up. It's so lush. It's not lusher than the original, it's just equally as lush, but it's much better value. I mean, I think that's the thing for me, is I got this from my Origins, and I think it was about 40 something pounds for the 30ml, which I would only do like if someone else is giving me that money, or if it's like a special treat, because that's a lot of money to spend on 30ml of anything. For me personally, I know not everyone feels like that, but you know, I'm a bargain hunter. So this one just feels better value, considering that like Guess Seductive Noir smells so much like the OG and has a similar kind of strength and performance. So this is the one I would recommend if you're actually going to buy the real thing, just because it is like much better value. So this has lavender, mandarin orange and bergamot in the top. Middle notes are Tahitian vanilla, Madagascar vanilla, that's why it's so vanillic, because it's right in the mid there. Iris, jasmine, sambac and rose. Base notes, coumarin, patchouli, licorice, benzoin, Australian sandalwood and white musk. I think the lavender's slightly stronger, but not massively so. I think all the other notes, the coumarin and the patchouli and the benzoin, well, maybe the patchouli's a tiny bit stronger, but it just goes so well with the lavender and stuff, it doesn't overwhelm it. But the licorice and the vanilla are definitely a little bit stronger in this one. If you don't like licorice, stick to the original. In fact, if you don't like licorice, don't get the original, just get Guess Seductive Noir. It doesn't have licorice in it, but it has a very similar scent profile, like almost exactly the same. Yeah, it's just, oh my God, I loved wearing this. It was so good. It lasted really well. It had a much bigger scent bubble. I was really aware of wearing it. It was absolutely lush. It was perfect for I think when I left the house, it was like 0 degrees. It was just delicious. So lovely, beautiful, scrumptious. Okay, so I'm going to go on a little Lush thing here, because I've actually got 4 things from Lush to talk about, but let's start with my ickle babies. So, Lord of Misrule, because I just think this is so beautiful. Lord of Misrule. It's vanilla, patchouli. How dark is this? Is it like crazy dark? I'm not sure. Sorry, vanilla, patchouli, black pepper is the main notes in this. I think it's also got some, it's got some coumarin, which is, I think, what I love about Lush. When they do vanilla, it's often a mixture of vanilla and coumarin, or vanilla and tonka, and it just gives you this spectacular, creamy, yummy, oh, it's just so good, just sweet, sugary vanilla. This one, I find it really herbaceous. Like, I don't find this patchouli upsetting, and I do find quite a lot of patchoulis upsetting. I don't like most patchouli if it's too noticeable, and this is literally a patchouli perfume. But because there's no fruit and it's not floral for some reason, I just love it. It's so good at this time of year. I absolutely am so glad I gave this a try, because been using the shower gel for years, absolutely love the shower gel. Never thought I'd be able to actually wear this perfume because it's so heavy in patchouli. Absolutely love it. I just love it. Weirdly, this one, it's almost like a sort of a warm, spicy green vanilla, which is quite a weird mixture of things. But I have some other things to talk about that I sniffed this week that had that same kind of vibe. They're like unusual vanillas that sometimes have a slightly green or slightly smoky or warm tone. But the greenness in this smells slightly minty for me, so it's got like a weird fresh vibe. It's the one, this is going to sound awful, but it's the thing that my husband and I are like, oh, and I better use the green shower gel if we've got a bit sweaty, or, you know, if for some reason we're like, I need a hardcore shower today. Lauder Misrule is what we use. Like, that's the one to go for if you're like, I'm going to scrub the hell out of myself today. There's just something bright and herbaceous about it. And I know that might be slightly just psychosomatic because of the green colour of the stuff, but I genuinely was surprised after using the shower gel when I looked at the kind of description of it that it didn't have mint in it or like any other kind of green herbs, because that's how the patchouli comes across to me in this, which is probably why I like it. But anyway, it's absolutely lush. I love this one, and I don't think they list anything other than that. So just patchouli. I think it's called Sumatrian patchouli, vanilla and black pepper, and it's just lovely. So the new Lush from Valentine's Day. This has had such mad reviews, and when I say mad, I don't mean that they're like wrong or bad. People have just been really annoyed about this, and I've literally seen someone talking about Taylor Swift, and I was like, for God's sake, look, don't buy a perfume just because it's got the name of a song on it by someone you like. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't expect to like something just because someone's made a song that's called New Romantics. And if you, like me, are of a certain age, you will know perfectly well that New Romantics is an 80s term for like a musical movement where everyone was like gender bending in the sunshine, you know, girls who like boys to be girls or whatever. And it was like a vibe. It was just a real vibe of music and fashion. It was like Culture Club and Duran Duran, you know, all these fabulous new romantic bands. And when I smelt this, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't want to blind buy it. I actually went to Lush. The reason being that some people were really being rude about this perfume. It's only just turned up on Fragrantica, so there's not much on there yet. But some of the reviews were wild. I was just like, damn, people really don't like this. They think it's horrible. And then I smelt it and I was like, oh, that does not smell anything like... I think I saw one person say it smelled like a cocktail. And I was like, okay, they've nailed it. Because despite what you might think from the notes in this, I have really specific scent memories going on here. So this is Divana, nutmeg, cloves, citruses, allspice, orange, and cinnamon, right? So it sounds like Divana, I think, is like a kind of citrusy, resinous green scent. I don't know a huge amount about it. It's definitely in a few of my perfumes, but I don't think I've ever smelled it quite as dominant as it is here. But for me, the citruses, the orange specifically, is way stronger than anything else. And when it dries down, you definitely get more of the cloves. So I think there's not... I don't find it massively spicy at first. It's just got like an interesting smell. And it has a slight bitterness to it, like, again, like that kind of peel. Like when you make an orange juice, if you put the peel in as well, you know, that kind of smell. But it's definitely a bit balsamic. It's definitely a bit like, or slightly resiny, slightly spicy, quite warm, but also very juicy, fresh, citrusy and bright. Like, so bright. I smelt it in Lush and I just said to the woman, I was like, whoa, okay, yes, that absolutely smells like something from my childhood. And I was trying really hard to think what it was and I couldn't think, but I was like, I'm going to buy this. I'm just going to spend the 30 quid. I'm going to bring it home with me so I can talk to you guys about it. And then when I was smelling it, I was writing a little thing on Fragrantica because I was like, okay, not many people have talked about this. So in case anyone's interested, I'll put my 2 cents in. I wrote a big, massive thing about it. And I was like, yeah, it reminds me of porn style martinis. So if you guys know what those are, I don't know. I mean, I assume they have them all over the world, but in the UK, especially like about 10 years ago when I actually used to go out drinking cocktails with my work friends a lot. I barely even drink alcohol now, but back in the day, cocktails were my thing. It's like a really yummy, sweet, passion fruity, tangy, sherbety cocktail, basically. Porn style martini. Very delicious, very tasty. It has that vibe to me, in that kind of like the old school Escadas, you know, the summer editions like Rocking Rio and that kind of thing. They smell like fruity cocktails. It's like that, but it's much more natural smelling, and therefore probably rubs some people up the wrong way. And then I was like, oh my God, I had a picture in my head. I was wearing this and I was thinking, I've remembered what it is, and it's this. If you can see, Sunquick Real Orange Fruit Concentrate, which is, I used to be allergic to E numbers when I was a kid. So my mum either made her own squash, which is delicious. I'm just going to, let's see, can we get this to brighten up a little bit? Hopefully it's all right. I think the thing with Sunquick was that it was made with real oranges. So it's really, really concentrated, really, really, really thick. But it didn't have loads of additives in it. And it came in a glass bottle, plastic lid. And it smells like this. I remember at the time being like, it's not like Robinson's. It tastes like it's got like the pith and the peel in it. But it's also very delicious. I can't believe they still make it. They just still make it, which is really cool. But yeah, that is really what this reminds me of. So it reminds me of my 80s childhood when, like, in the late 80s, when my mum used to be buying my drinks and stuff. Kind of smells a bit like that, I won't lie. It has got a bit of that vibe. So it really, like, sent me through, like, a time tunnel, which was really, really fun. And the only thing I'll say about this is that I don't know if this can stay in my collection. Not because I don't like it, but there's something in it that makes me feel like I'm getting a headache. I've tried it a couple of times and I felt quite headachy both times. So if I wear it again and it gives me a headache, I'm going to have to test it out again. And I'll have to take it back to Lush, which is a shame because I do like it. But it's also, as I said in my review, I'm like, it's not the chicest perfume. It's a fun, kind of young smelling, fruity cocktail. It almost smells like... It's almost a bit too spicy to be summery, but it also smells summery at the same time. Anyway, I'm waffling on. I don't really know. I think it's quite nice, but an acquired taste, possibly not a safe blind buy, unless you know you love the smell of a porn style martini with a little bit of resins and spices, you know. Where shall I go to next? Oh, this one was fun. Let's do this. All right. I've got to find the notes for this beauty. The first full wear I've done of this, lovely, since I bought it. Oh yeah, I was really in the mood for this. I was in a real specific mood for a few days and I wore this and what I might consider to be like a kind of sister of it. This is Tocade by Rochas and it is... it's such a cool bottle. I need to have a look up and see like if there's a story behind this bottle because it's got this little kind of almost circus top. I think this is from the 90s, but it kind of... or is it from the 80s and it looks like the 90s? I mean, the 90s had a lot of this kind of thing going on, but so did the 80s, so like, or the early 90s anyway. I can't really remember, but I've got a tiny little dent in this now because... lovely, really nice. It's very ambery. And I sometimes struggle with amber, but I think if I smell this, I'm in the right mood. So I have smelt it a couple of times since I bought it and was like, not in the mood for something that ambery. And then when I smelt it on the day that I wore this, I wore it to work. So some of the reason this has got a dent in it is because I sprayed some of this into just a tiny little plastic decant bottle so I could take it to work with me to top up. On the day I smelt it, I was like, yes, oh yes, I'm in the mood for a slightly vintagey smelling, slightly ambery, rose and vanilla perfume. And this is the one that to me, and genuinely, it just gives me vibes of Turkish Delight. And not like, I mean like proper old school Turkish Delight in a box, chopped up into chunks, covered in icing sugar. It has that powdery vibe, but it's very sweet and sugary. So the notes are geranium and bergamot in the top. You definitely get some bergamot when you first spray it, so you definitely get some geranium. And I often don't like geranium because it's so dry, but somehow it works here. Middle notes, rose, iris, jasmine. I get mainly rose. I think the iris is adding to the powderiness, but I get mainly rose. Base notes, vanilla, amber, tonka bean, labdanum, almond. It's just a ambery Turkish Delight to me. That's what this smells like. I'm sure lots of people won't get the same thing, but I just thought it was really pretty. I don't think it smells so vintage that it's going to be like a problem. It doesn't smell vintage in a kind of Chanel No. 5 style way. It doesn't have that vintage perfume smell about it in like super perfumey. It's a little bit gourmand, this one, I'd say, but because it's quite floral. I mean, and let's be real, Turkish Delight is an old school sweet. If you watch Narnia nowadays, people are probably like, why is that kid so obsessed with Turkish Delight? But I get it. I love rose Turkish Delight. It's one of my faves. I would pick a fries Turkish Delight over many other things. But I used to get Turkish Delight at Christmas because my dad was always bought it, and he always used to donate some of it to me because people were obsessed with giving him Turkish Delight. I don't know why. This one, if you don't like ambery stuff, you won't like it. If you don't like powdery stuff, you won't like it. If you don't like rose, you won't like it. But I think I got a little bit more vanilla as it dried down. This is just, I don't know, I think it's really ladylike. The only thing I'll say about this that also might put people off is it's incredibly linear. Although you get a bit more of that geranium and bergamot in the top, it's very quick to dry to the smell that you're going to have the whole wear. So like there's not loads of changes going on here. And this is the most recent formulation of Tocade. It's not a vintage bottle, which I think has slightly different notes. I think there's patchouli in the original. It might be a bit more complex. I also didn't find this one particularly heavy or strong. And some people say you don't need much of this, but I wonder if they've got an older bottle than me. Again, this might macerate and get stronger, but it's really pretty. I really like it. It's powdery. It's ladylike. It's very feminine. It's just super pretty, but it's definitely got that hint of not being a modern perfume, if you see what I mean. It's hard to say it doesn't smell like a modern perfume without suggesting it smells straight up vintage, but it doesn't really smell straight up vintage. Okay. Ooh. Oh, so pretty. I really had a specific vibe going on this week, I feel. It was floral vanillas, I think, a lot of things coming in here. So I wore Obsession Night. Let's see if this will brighten up if I go on there. A beautiful, and look, you can see now. You can see it has got a blue bottle, but it's a very pale blue bottle, and I think the liquid inside is also blue. Just gorgeous. Absolutely scrumptious. This one, top notes of white flowers, bitter orange, angelica, bergamot and mandarin orange. Middle notes of gardenia, jasmine, lily of the valley and rose. Base notes of cashmere wood, vanilla, sandalwood, tonka bean and amber. Now, on me and to my nose, this is angelica, cashmere wood, vanilla, tonka bean, bitter orange. Followed by white flowers, and that's how this smells to me. I get a huge amount of angelica, and a lot of cashmere wood, and it's a really nice cashmere wood that doesn't smell. It doesn't smell like woody in the way that some cedar woods do, and it doesn't smell like what's it called? Like pencil shavings. It's not that kind. It's so smooth, cozy. This smells like a woolly jumper to me. It's that vibe. And it's saved from getting too cloying, or too floral, or too woody, or too vanillic by that lovely bitter orange. It's just really pretty. I just really like this one. It's so cozy. I think that's what it is. It's just so cozy, and it was perfect for like a cold day. I wore it to work, and I just really enjoyed wearing it. I think it's totally lush. Okay. Let's I'll I've got quite a lot of stuff here. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to try not to go on quite as much because I've got so much stuff. Oh, I'm not going to... What I'm trying to get in here, I don't think it's going to fit, so I'm just going to move these back in after all that. I've got another Lush. Shall I go for that one now? Yeah, let's go for that one now. So, oof. From the bottle, I don't know that you would really like the smell of Freedom from the bottle. And when you first spray it, again, you're trying to get this to be a bit brighter. The smell of Freedom is really intense from the bottle. I mean, it almost looks like, you see the colour, it almost looks like it's sort of leaving an oil on the glass. It smells thick, but in a really weird citrusy way. And I was just thinking to myself, since I last talked about this, I haven't worn it because I feel like this is, for me, very cold weather, because it's strong. It's unusual, but I think the dry down has something in it that's so magical, and it's incredibly hard for me to explain what the hell this smells like, because I don't really know how to explain what this smells like, and I don't know that the notes help very much to explain what this smells like. So you've got lemongrass, woodsy notes, ginger, neroli, jasmine, sandalwood, agar wood, so oud, pepper, orris root, clove. Now, if I pick out the notes in here that I enjoy, it would be pepper, black pepper, orris root, clove, sandalwood and ginger. The woodsy notes, I mean, I quite like lemongrass sometimes. I really don't like oud normally, and I don't like jasmine, and I don't like neroli normally, right? But I don't know what it is about this. Like, and I sprayed it on in the evening. I was like, okay, I'm going to wear this evening. I'm going to see how it goes on a really cold night. A cold night where I knew I was going to be having some special time with my husband. And I was like, I'm going to try this, and I'm also going to see what he thinks. And I sprayed it on and I was like, whoa, I might have made a mistake. It's very tangy, lemongrass, extremely woody. Oh my goodness, just like, it definitely smells much more masculine. The neroli in it is so green and sharp. The ginger is also not very sweet, but there is like an underlying sweetness going on here. But then it dries down and it just starts to smell like magic. And again, I don't really, I couldn't pinpoint really what it smelled like, but it doesn't list musk, but it's almost like it turns into something softer, muskier, more skin-like. My husband really liked it. And I was thinking to myself, I really like this as well, but I actually almost think I would prefer this on him, because I feel like I could not stop sniffing myself, but at the same time, I wasn't really... this is a weird thing to say. It felt sexy. Like, I feel like this perfume is weirdly sexy. And then I started thinking, what is it in this that's sexy? And I was like, it's got that jasmine in from Lust. It has the Lust jasmine. So, when I went to get this one... now, I have had to put this in a plastic bag. There were 2 samples I had to put in a plastic bag. One because I hated it and I didn't want to smell it in my room, but I knew I wanted to talk to you about it. And this one because it was so strong, it was all I could smell in my room. Now, Lust from Lush is one of my... I think it... Along with Lauder of Misrule, I think it's one of Lust's best perfumes. Twilight, Lauder of Misrule, Lust. Oh my god, Lust is the most beautiful jasmine perfume. Every part of me wants to be able to wear this, but it does tend to give me a headache. I've had a bottle of this before, I kept trying to wear it, it gave me a headache. And I feel like this one, if I'd been wearing it the whole day, might have also given me a headache. Or if I'd like done lots of sprays of it, might have been the same thing. But this, the jasmine note in this, when it dries down, is the same jasmine that you get in here. And oh my god, this is the sexiest, slightly animalic, beast mode jasmine. And if you like the natural smell of jasmine that comes in, like, so the back garden behind my flat, it doesn't belong to us, but there's jasmine there. So when that jasmine is blooming at that time of year, it comes up through our back window, and the smell is so intoxicating. It is beautiful. This perfume, Lust from Lush, is probably the closest personally I have ever found, and I was looking for quite a long time before I realised that jasmine gives me a headache. I was looking for a perfume that smelled as close to that as possible, and it's this. This is the one that smells the closest to that midnight jasmine heavenly smell. Oh my god, it's so good. The notes in Lust are jasmine, ylang ylang, vanilla, sandalwood and rose. But it's mainly that beautiful jasmine, just slightly sweetened. Oh my god. See, smelling it now, I'm just like, oh god. At some point, if I can get my hands on maybe a second-hand bottle or a pen spray or something, I might try actually wearing this one again. I think I would have to, I mean, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different perfumes I think I smell. If I can, yeah, 7 different perfumes I had samples of. This is the one I could smell. Over all of them in my room, this is the one I could really smell the most. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. And this is what happened with this. I could not stop smelling it. But I think because it's woody, because of the lemongrass, it leans ever so slightly masculine, and I might just prefer this on my husband. And if he likes it, oh my god, I am going to be all over him. Oh my god. But yeah, if you are interested in jasmine, I would highly recommend Lust from Lush. You'd have to be careful not to get it on your clothes, because you can see it's like a really sort of red deep liquid, but it's truly the muskiest, sexiest, most natural smelling jasmine. I think when I talked about this like on Fragrantica, when I had my bottle, I was just like, it's like a sexy woman got out of a candlelit bath, and there's just like, she's just got like rivulets of water just going down her back, you know, like it's just like, oh, so sexy. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. I can't stop smelling it. I wish I could wear it. I really hope that my kind of leaning towards wearing stronger things and like getting into this kind of thing, I hope one day I can wear Lust, because it is intoxicating, genuinely. Oh my god, I'm getting overexcited. It's just like a sex bomb. Let's see. Am I doing big bowls at the moment? Oh yeah, okay. Let's do this one. Oh, I haven't worn it for ages. 1881. Why is this so dark? I'm just gonna have to try and get it to behave itself. Come on. So this is Cerruti. I do have a little bit of a dent in this one actually. I've had it for ages, and it was a tester bottle, so I haven't got the lid, which actually, to be honest, really irritates me. If any of you have an empty bottle of the 100ml and you want to like flog it to me for a couple of quid, I'd really like it, because I really like these bottles and I really like the lids, and it annoys me because I'd have this in my display if it had a lid. But it seems insane to like sell this one in order to get like, say, the 30ml that has a lid. But I don't know, I feel like at some point I might do that. The more I declutter my perfumes, the more I want to have like more in the display. Like I want, like, you know, to use the space in a different way. But anyway, god, sorry, this is going to be so long, this video. Oh my goodness, this is a musk bomb. It is a floral musk bomb. And I would say this is a ladylike, cozy, friendly kind of, I don't want to use the word mumsy because I am not a mother, and I do not consider myself to look or act in a mumsy way, but that's what it makes me think of. It makes me think of like it's like, you know, like Reality Bites, you know. I imagine that if you wear those kind of tea dresses, I have some of those, some vintage dresses. I'm just leaning over to get a drink if I sound funny. It has that vibe to me. Like, I'm going to wear it when I'm wearing a dress, you know? I think that's just how it is. Okay. So, Cerruti 80 and 81 has a lot of notes. I think it's from the 90s or early 2000s again. This one is strong. It lasts forever. But it's not like, It's not necessarily strong in a kind of perfumey way. It's just strong in that everyone around you will smell you and think you smell clean and musky and floral and lush and cozy and lovely, and they might want to give you a cuddle. But it's not like super, super perfumey. So we've got Mimosa, Iris, Rose, Freesia, Violet, Lily of the Valley, Jasmine, Bergamot in the top, just in the top. Middle notes, Chamomile, Iris, Narcissus, Galbanum, Geranium, Coriander, Jasmine, Brazilian Rosewood, Orange Blossom Tuberose in the mid. And then in the base, you've got musk, sandalwood, cedar, vanilla, and amber. Now, this is a classic musk that I like, which is like, it smells like a bar soap, you know? It's got that kind of smell to it. It's not shampooey. It's not sharp. Not at all screechy. It's super smooth, creamy, with a ton of chamomile. I get like chamomile, mimosa, a little bit of rose and freesia, but a ton of chamomile, a lovely bit of sandalwood, and a huge dose of musk. And then the more it dries down, the more you get the vanilla poking through. It's one of the best value perfumes that I have, because you can get these for so cheap. I think this one cost me like 15 quid for 100ml, and it will last me forever because it's so strong. You don't need to reapply this one. It lasts like an absolute beast. I've traditionally worn this one at home, but I wore it to work and I loved it. It was just absolutely delicious. So a really good one, totally scrumptious. I'm just working out how I'm going to fit all these things on. I have to move some bits around. So we're going to put her on an angle over there. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Highly recommend 1881. I just think it's such exceptionally good value. Oh, right. Where's my absolute babe? Shall I save her? All right, I'm going to save. There's one that I'm going to save because I want to talk about it in tandem with some stuff that I smelt. Yep. So, as I said, I was massively in the mood for a specific type of perfume, and it was this. So, Casmir from Chopard. Oh my goodness. I need to make space for this beauty so you can see it. I just want to... Oh, look at that. Look at that colour. It's so gorgeous. And I love this bottle. I don't know why everyone's funny about the bottle. It's just so glorious. It's just like, you know, I'm pretty sure that perfumes probably originated, a lot of them anyway, in the Middle East, and I think that's why this is just so incredibly beautiful as well. It's got that kind of glorious, slightly Arabian feel to it. It's just beautiful. I love this bottle. I actually regret not getting a bigger one, but this is super cute, to be fair. But the bigger ones are even cooler. I'm very glad that I kept this one until this. Oh, if I even said it, it's Casmir from Chopard. Now, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, whether it's Cashmere or Casmir, but I think it's Casmir. It's got this kind of, I think this looks like a little lotus flower or something here. Oh my goodness. In cold weather, this has been amazing, amazing. So beautiful, so comfy and cozy and vanillic and gorgeous, so peachy and scrumptious. I really, really, really enjoyed wearing this. But it shares the same kind of vanilla amber base, slightly powdery, as Tocade. So I feel like this is almost like, this is the... And someone else said that they didn't get Ylang Ylang from this, I think, in my comments. Which blows my mind, because to me, this is a Ylang Ylang perfume. There are other florals in here, but Ylang Ylang is what I smell. It smells so much like Ylang in Gold from M. Micallef, or I should say that smells like this, but not quite as vanillic and not quite as sweet, but very ladylike and super strong in Ylang. It has the same Ylang note from Far Away, from Avon. It's got the same Ylang note as the Body Shop Full Ylang, I think it's called. This smells like a Ylang and vanilla, well, a peach Ylang and vanilla perfume. Although I have to say the peach comes across as like apricot to me personally, but there you go. And this one is like a bergamot, rose and vanilla ambery perfume. They smell related, but with different florals, if you see what I mean. Different fruits, different florals, almost mixed in with the same kind of ambery vanilla base with loads of powderiness. I mean, it's just, oh. When I first got this, I just thought it smelled like plastic. I thought it smelled mad, but I could see that there was something beautiful in it. And I put it to one side. I don't know whether like the travel or like the first time you spray this, it just smells weird, because everyone seems to say when they first got it, they didn't like it, or it smelled like burning rubber, or it smelled like melting plastic, or it had this really weird smell about it. And then they tried it like later on, they put it away and then they came back to it and it was amazing. And that's exactly what's happened here. Now, I'm not sure if that's because I just sprayed it, then left it, and it kind of just developed into what it was going to be, or whether it's because this is just so good in cold weather. And I wore this on a very, very cold day. I think it was the coldest day. This was minus something when I went to work. And it was just magical. And the vanilla was so beautiful in the base of this. So the notes are peach, coconut, mango, bergamot and fruits in the top. Middle notes of geranium, jasmine, floral notes and lily of the valley. So my assumption is that the floral notes is like ylang ylang. Vanilla, amber, sandalwood, musk, patchouli and woodsy notes in the base. This has that same kind of patchouli that comes across almost slightly minty to me when it dries down. It smells quite herbaceous, a little bit earthy. But yeah, mixed with that amber and the wood, just gives this kind of weird powdery vibe to it, which is the same as in Tocade. But yeah, I mean, I have to say, I love this one more than Avon Far Away, and I think they smell very, very similar. Avon is more vanilla-y straight up, and it's slightly less fruity. But they're very, very similar. I really do think that they smell very, very close to each other. So I think probably the more I kind of narrowed down my collection so that I'm wearing the stuff that I love the most and I don't have too much repetition, I probably will, especially also because I just got a miniature of the Eau de Parfum version of Far Away. So I might declutter my sprays and just keep this one. And if I get far enough through this one, and actually, just in case this is discontinued, I might get a big bottle of it. So, I mean, I just, in this cold weather, completely in love, absolutely scrumptious. Actually, maybe I'm going to do that annoying thing now where I move everything around because I can't quite get anything to fit. Oh, look, she's so beautiful. Look at her with her big sister, little and large, so cute. All right. I also wore, okay, so I think we're on to things I'm going to be comparing to other bits. So we can start off with this huge bottle I have of an absolutely stunning magical potion that I will find the notes for. There we go. Oh my goodness. Oh no. I wore this again, but I'm definitely going to be saving this until it warms up a little bit or until it gets a bit stronger. It's still feeling very transparent and light. And I can smell it on me for absolutely ages. This is Lalique Le Parfum. I can smell it for ages, but it's light. And I think it's just been too cold for this one, to be honest. But it's beautiful. It is a very sheer, sugary, beautiful gourmand vanilla with a warmth from some black peppery spiciness, but a lot of greenness from a bay leaf note. It is, the thing is, everyone talks about how weird this one is, and it's nowhere near as weird to me as I was expecting it to be. And now I've smelled some other things, it no longer smells very weird for me, because there's some people going on about some niche perfumes. They absolutely love them, and when I smelt them, I was like, there is definitely an element of this in those. So let's get on to what I've been smelling. I have been smelling a few things. I went to Selfridges and I specifically wanted to smell 2 musky perfumes to compare to Wild Musk and Skin Musk. I wanted to see how they smell. And then I also wanted to smell 2 smoky vanilla perfumes, one of which is Babycat from Yves Saint Laurent, and the other is Eau the Audacity by Penhaligons. So Penhaligons is a London company, quite expensive, quite posh, you know. Okay. Oh. Now these two, I wanted to smell them because they are apparently like super similar to each other. And I think Babycat, we just have it in Selfridges. I don't know if maybe in other parts of the world it's harder to get or what, but some people have been saying if you can't get Babycat, then this is a good alternative. And I have to say, totally agree. I wouldn't buy either because they're both super expensive. But these both have a kind of slightly sugary, slightly sheer vanilla that really reminds me of Lalique Le Parfum. I don't think they entirely smell like each other because these are smoky, darker, and this one is greener. But they both are like quite warm, not massively strong, not thick at all. They've both got like, they're all quite thin smelling. Again, they might all sort of macerate a bit and get a bit thicker, but I feel like if you like Babycat and if you like Eau the Audacity, you might really like Le Parfum, is what I'm trying to say. And Le Parfum you can get for like 30 quid for 100ml. They're both like leather, I think, if I remember correctly. Now, I'm not mad for leather, I can't lie. It's not my favourite, but I like smoky perfumes, if you see what I mean. Sometimes it's got a bit of smoke, but I don't necessarily love leather. But I understand why people like these. I particularly, to be honest, understand why people like Babycat. Babycat is even, I think, more like the vanilla in this one. Let me just have another. Yeah, might be even more so. Oh, yeah. There's definitely a vibe between Babycat and Le Parfum. There's definitely something going on. Okay. Babycat has black and pink pepper. Weird. It's weird, the notes here. On Fragrantica, it feels like they've done something strange because they've got a note that says black and pink pepper, then they've got a note that says black pepper, then they've got a note that says pink pepper. So black and pink pepper. LME. I've got a few perfumes with that in. Olibanum and saffron in the mid, and then the base is bourbon, vanilla, suede and cedar. So when I first sprayed Babycat, I got the vanilla straight away, and I got a lot of suede. It was very smoky, but it was smooth. It was warm. It smells like a sweet, friendly girl wearing a suede coat, you know. It's got a strong suede note, but it was smooth, it was pretty, it was super vanilla-y, but it wasn't overwhelmingly strong, just super pretty. Now, Eau the Audacity, the notes for this guy are black pepper, elemi, orange blossom in the top, middle notes frankincense, saffron and rose, base notes vanilla, leather and ambergris. So they have so many similar notes, they smell super similar, but not until the dry down, I would say. I think Eau the Audacity, when I first sprayed it, it almost had like a fresh greenness to it. I'm assuming that's the orange blossom going on. And it smelled quite I could smell the sweetness, but I didn't necessarily recognise it as vanilla straight away. It was sweet. It was smoky, like really smoky. It had a kind of green, almost not soapy, but it definitely had a slightly fresh, much more of a fresh vibe than Babycat. And then it smelled harsher. I just have to say, it just smelled harsher. This smelled really smooth. This one didn't smell smooth. And this one smelled much more masculine to me. And I was thinking, because weirdly, I went up to the desk and asked to have a spray of it. And there were two guys behind the desk. And they were spraying, like one of them was spraying it on, like they were literally already just spraying this perfume. It's a great unisex smell. When they dried down, they smell incredibly similar. When the smokiness calmed down and everything else calmed down, you ended up with this gorgeous, lightly smoked vanilla. And, oh my goodness, yay! So yeah, by the time I got home, once I smelt them, they both smell quite similar. And I was like, okay, I can see why someone would suggest if you can't get Babycat, then Eau the Audacity is a really good alternative. I think the bottles are awesome for both of them. They're really nice. I totally understand why people love them. I think that my suggestion, if you're on a super tight budget, would just be to get Lalique Le Parfum. It's definitely not the same smokiness, but it it kind of gives me the same feel. It's got a really similar feel in the dry down to that type of vanilla. I don't think they're like they properly smell alike, but they both made me think of this in the deep dry down is what I'm trying to say. So take from that what you will. Okay, what am I going to do next? Oh my goodness. Oh, let's do this one quickly. So okay, so Myrrh and Tonka from Jo Malone. I wanted to smell this because Aldi have a dupe of this one. So I thought, because I could get a dupe for like £8, if I can find it anywhere, then I might as well see if I like it. I don't like the dry down of this. I think it smells very, very Myrrh heavy in the dry down, and the Tonka sort of goes away. And then I think it smells really too masculine for me, because too much Myrrh and it always smells a bit masculine. And partly, that might slightly be because my husband has a Myrrh perfume. So maybe it's just because I recognise that as something that he smells like and that I don't really wear. Or maybe it just is slightly masculine, like leaning scent traditionally. I don't know. But yeah, when I first sprayed it, delicious. Loads of delicious sweet, slightly powdery Tonka, lovely, nice balance. But the more it dried down, the more it was just Myrrh to me. So not mad for it. Wasn't really quite my vibe. But yeah, I mean, it's also got lavender apparently in the top, but I don't know that I was necessarily noticing lots of lavender. I just thought it smelled like a delicious, creamy yumminess. You can kind of tell it's a slight relative of Scarlet Poppy, if you see what I mean. It has that same delicious kind of creamy, tonkery, vanilla-y sweetness going on. It's like powdery yumminess. Because there's almond. So it's lavender in the top, middle notes of Myrrh, base notes, Tonka, vanilla and almond. Not really for me. Not my favourite. I'm just going to move these now because I've got to talk about so many other things. So, okay. I wasn't mad for that one, but apparently the dupe is really good, so it might be worth getting. Okay. Right, let's do... I hated this one. This is in a bag because I hate it. So, in my defence, though, and in the defence of Kayali, I knew I wouldn't like this one. Ugh, this is Cafe Oud. So I went because I wanted to smell... Well, I wanted to smell all of the Oud ones, to be honest, because I haven't smelled them. They only had Cafe Oud available to test for some reason. I assume all the other ones are just sold out. This smells super masculine to me. I don't like it. But I really went in there because I wanted to smell the new Lychee. I think it's a sparkling Lychee. Eden sparkling Lychee. They didn't have it. They'd sold out. In fact, they'd sold out of so many. It looked like they'd been like robbed or something. I don't know. They hardly had anything. So anyway, this was the only one there that I hadn't smelled before, so I thought I might as well give it a sniff. But don't take what I have to say too seriously, because I just do not like these kind of perfumes, and I absolutely do not like the patchouli used in Kayali perfumes. Every single perfume I've smelled of theirs that has patchouli in is totally ruined. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, so this, Babycat and Eau the Audacity, what I was thinking about as well is that if you like the kind of vanilla that you get from Kayali Vanilla 28, that kind of slightly sheer, sugary vanilla, then that is the kind of vanilla vibe that I get from this and Babycat and Eau the Audacity. It's that style of... I almost think of it as like a watery vanilla, like super sweet, but not thick and not custardy and not creamy, but also not necessarily perfumey. But the reason I don't like the vanilla 28 from Kayali is just because I hate that patchouli in the base, because it smells so perfumey to me. So this, cappuccino, bergamot, mandarin orange in the top, middle notes geranium and rose, base notes oud, vanilla, white musk and patchouli, and it is a huge amount of that patchouli, lots of rose, a little bit of coffee, and loads of oud, and it's just not my kind of thing. It's just ugh. No, way too much patchouli, but I really genuinely feel like that about most Kayalis. Even the ones that seem like I'm going to love them, they always dry down into smelling like a perfumey patchouli, and then they smell kind of a little bit old-fashioned to me in a way that I don't enjoy, and that's exactly what I get with Vanilla 28. So as someone who doesn't like that perfumey patchouli, it just doesn't work, but the vanilla in it, this kind of thing. Oh, right. Oh my God. See, I've got so many things. Right. I've got two more. I tried two. Can I smell this one a little bit? Two musky perfumes, right? So this is Aerin Amber Musk. So this one is compared to Wild Musk by Coty. That's a perfume I used to wear when I was young and I loved it and I still love it now, but the current formulation of it is absolute trash. It is water. It's just rubbish and it's definitely not worth even spending 15 quid on it. So I thought I'm going to see whether this smells like it. A little bit, not massively, but a little bit I think it does. I would say it's in the realm. It has the vibe of wild musk, but it doesn't actually smell like wild musk, but it is a beautiful perfume. So, I mean, it's also really expensive and I would just be like, okay, just get skin musk. So it's musk, benzoin, ambroxan, coconut, rose, sandalwood and lily of the valley. So I struggle with ambroxan. It often makes things smell really screechy or sharp to me. This did go through a bit of a phase where there's a slight weird sharpness, which I assume is the ambroxan. But it wasn't too bad. I feel like there's maybe not tons of ambroxan in this, and maybe it's balanced by the benzoin and the coconut. It's slightly floral, definitely got some sandalwood in there, very musky. It's super pretty, a beautiful skin scent, and definitely a skin scent. It lasts... I mean, does it like it's fleeting. In its defense, it's very cold at the moment, so this might be much better in summer, but it's so pretty. I wouldn't spend the money on it myself. It's not my favorite. It's nice, but if you don't mind spending money and you want to get something that's in the realm of the old school wild musk, then this one is not bad. I do obviously much prefer skin musk. The oil is better than the spray, but this one is more rosy and a bit sugary. The spray is a little bit more vanillic and even more musky. But yeah, I mean, this is the one that I'd go for because I like a bargain. But Amber Musk from Estée Lauder from Aerin is just beautiful. I understand why people like it. Absolutely a skin scent. Hugely expensive for how strong or for how weak it is and how fleeting it is, but it's gorgeous. I really like the smell. The one that I liked the best though, yeah, let's see. This one is from Phlur, and this one's called Missing Person. It should be called The Invisible Woman or something. But it's really pretty. I can still... The thing is, it's very subtle on skin, but I can still smell it on this after about 4 days. So on card, it's lasting pretty well, but it's very subtle. I have to put my face up to it. And I had to do that with my arm as well. But it's gorgeous. This is a beautiful, musky skin scent. Again, I think maybe Amber Musk is closer to Skin Musk, but this one, to Wild Musk even. This one, it still is in that same realm. It still has that same vibe. But this one's almost leaning more towards the 1881 kind of muskiness, like a bar soapy musk. It's so pretty. If this was not so expensive, I was like... And I like the bottle as well, so I was like, if this was cheaper, I would consider it. And then something occurred to me when I was smelling this deep dry down today. So the notes are musk, jasmine, bergamot in the top. That's why it's so musky. Middle notes are neroli, cyclamen, orange blossom in the mid. The base notes are white musk, Australian sandalwood and whitewood. And it just is an absolute musk bomb. An absolute musk bomb. It's quite a sexy one though, I'd say, but like in a really subtle way. It's not like... Yeah, it's not at all sexy in like a vampy way. It's sexy in a, oh my God, why does your skin smell so good? Like, what is that? Oh my God. That kind of sexy. So, but when I was sniffing this today, getting ready for this video, I was like, you know what? I've got this perfume already. Oof, I give up. I've got something that smells almost exactly the same. yeah, it's certainly got the same vibe. It's very, very similar, and it is this. So it's 212 by Carolina Herrera. This is a old school musk balm, and it smells like, it's almost smells exactly like a white bar soap, you know, like a sort of a white bar soap that doesn't have any particular floral or fruity scent to it. It's got that kind of smell. Yeah. It's maybe slightly zingier, a bit more fruity, but it smells so much like this one. So if I just get the notes up for 212 and I can have a look, because it's just so musky, honestly, it's just lovely. 212 smells like a bar soap, and it's cheaper. It's an absolute beast. It is a huge scent bubble with 212, a huge clean girl scent bubble, and it lasts forever because it's an old either 90s or early 2000s perfume, and they tend to last really well. So this is much better value. And the other thing I'll mention is the other perfume that smells almost to me like a dupe of 212, and it came out like the year after, is Alfred Sung Pure. I used to have that. I decluttered it because I had this one. I don't need both. Really cool bottle though, Pure as well. That one also smells like a white bar soap. It's ever so slightly tangier than this one, and this one's just slightly tangier than Missing Person. But I really think they all smell very similar. So it kind of just depends on how much money you want to spend. If you want to just get like a super chilled out bar soapy style musky scent, like a clean scent. I think this is also compared to some of the Philosophy and Clean ones, but I find they smell a lot more like body lotions than bar soaps. This one doesn't smell like a body lotion to me. It smells more like a bar soap, which is much more kind of my taste. Once you start getting too lotiony, it starts to make me feel a bit queasy. So the original 212 is orange blossom, cactus flower, bergamot, and mandarin orange in the top. It's got lily, freesia, gardenia, jasmine, lily of the valley, white camellia, rose, peony in the mid, and then it's got musk and sandalwood in the base. So if I look at the way the notes are voted, musk is right up the top. It's musk, white florals, basically. That's what this smells like, but it's not screechy. It's a really nice level of sweetness. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, like this Phlur one just smells so similar that this is what I'd go for personally, but I do really love the bottle of this, and I think it's a very pretty one, but it's very subtle. Again, maybe in summer it's going to be way stronger, but yeah, I mean, I can really still smell that vanilla in Babycat. I understand why people love Babycat so much, I totally do. Yeah, there's something really magical about the dry down of that. Oh, yeah. And same with Eau the Audacity. Eau the Audacity has retained some of its other notes a bit more though. It still smells a bit fresher. It's still a bit more leathery, and I think Babycat is now just a very slightly smoky vanilla. I mean, yeah. I had a really fun time. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, this has gone on for a whole hour. I hope that you guys don't all unsubscribe in your droves, and I hope this hasn't become so dark that you can't even see anything. I don't know why this is seeming very, very dark to me today, but I've got all my curtains closed. I'm doing this in the evening. It's super, super dark. So then, happy birthday to me. I will show you next week what I got. I've got something coming in the post. I've got something that I've already got that I'll be wearing at some point. And again, yeah, so the other thing that I can compare to this, not because it smells like it, but it has that same kind of slightly sheer vanilla-y smell. Burberry Goddess, again, that same kind of thing. That not super thick, but quite sugary, lovely vanilla. Like, I think it's my type of vanilla. If money wasn't like an issue, I would definitely have bought Babycat, like, because the dry down is so glorious and it's so smooth and delicious, even with that kind of suede smokiness. Yeah, I totally would have got that, but I'm not going to pay that kind of price. I mean, what am I, mad? I wonder if someone will do a dupe of Babycat at some point. That'll be interesting. But yeah, tell me what you've been wearing. Tell me if you have any of these. Definitely tell me if you wear Casmir or Tocade. Tell me if you love Babycat, if you've smelt the Lalique Le Parfum, or if you've smelt Eau the Audacity. Let me know if you smelt New Romantics, because I wonder if I'm just mad and like all the negative reviews of it are right and I'm wrong. We shall see. But anyway, this was my week. I didn't actually wear this one, but yeah, so that was just the comparison. So I hope this was interesting. Sorry I went on for so long. You know me, once I start chatting away, I'm just an absolute natter. I hope you have a gorgeous and lovely week, and I will see you week after. We're continuing with Frugal January, so I've got some, I think I might have another like bargainous cheapy haul. And yeah, I can't really remember what else is coming up because some of them are quite old. Oh, by the way, if the next one up is my Kim Kardashian haul, then bear with me because I think I made that one before I had a microphone, so you might have to turn it up quite a lot. That one's been sitting in my YouTube sort of video list for a really long time, and I kept forgetting to actually publish it. So yeah, sorry if it's really quiet, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Have a beautiful and gorgeous week, and I will see you on the other side. Bye.